1. It's the #1 movie in America, 42, and we're lucky enough to have one of the actors from that movie. He plays Red Barber. It's John C. McGinley. John, welcome to Big 550 KTRS here in St. Louis.
Thanks, McGraw. Thanks for having us on.
You must be pretty proud of this one.
I am. You got to pay the bills, so the scripts get sent to you, and you show up on sets, and you hit your mark, and you say your line. But every once in a while, and it's just every once in a while, something special comes along, and when you get to be part of it, it feels pretty good.
Young people today don't know who Red Barber was. He was legendary. How did you get ready for the role?
Red Barber was a pioneer in radio broadcasting. He was the voice of the Dodgers, and I was issued about a half a dozen different discs of broadcasts that Red Barber had done with the Dodgers, and I devoured them, as well as his autobiography, until I could get his sound into my ear and comfortable in my mouth. And so as soon as I arrived at that level of comfort with his sound, with his syncopation, then I could do the film.
Did you have a newfound respect for broadcasters?
Oh, I wanted to be. I went to Syracuse for a year at Newhouse, and so, no, there was nothing new about that. I have profound respect for broadcasters.
Good. No, I've always respected them.
I have.
I was talking to some young people, and I said, "Oh, we're going to have you on," and he plays Red Barber, and they said, "Who is Red Barber?" And it was almost sad in a sense. So in a way, you're bringing back Red Barber the way 42 is bringing back Jackie Robinson.
Yeah. So look, Red Barber was when people consumed Dodger games in 1947. The only way that consumption could happen was either to go out to Ebbets Field, which was it was a bandbox. It was maybe 35,000 people, or read one of the New York dailies the next day, of which there were 7, or listen to Red. And so if you weren't one of the people in the stadium, you were listening to Red. And so this was a big responsibility. And as soon as he embraced Jackie, the Brooklyn faithful embraced him probably exponentially quicker than they would have if Red had not gotten on the Jackie Robinson bandwagon.
Yeah, and I guess Red did not go to Los Angeles with the Dodgers. He stayed, right?
Well, shortly after, no, he was gone early. What happened was he asked the Gillette Shaving Company for a $100 a game raise, and they said no, and so he resigned, and the New York Yankees picked him up immediately, and he broadcast Yankee games for 15 years. One of his interns, while he was in Brooklyn, was a guy named Vin Scully, who would then climb the ladder and become the Brooklyn Dodgers broadcaster, and, of course, go out to Los Angeles with the team.
I did not know that. I was listening.
Yeah, how great. How small a world is that?
Yeah, I was listening to Vin Scully the other night going to bed, and he still brings it after all these years. I mean, he intertwined Jackie Robinson stories during the game. It was heaven.
Top of the food chain.
Yeah.
It's just really special. The guys who are the best at what they do are extraordinary, and that's who Vin is.
John C. McGinley is Red Barber in the movie 42, the #1 movie in America. John, you were also in Platoon, Wall Street, Talk Radio, Born on the 4th of July, Nixon, and Any Given Sunday, all Oliver Stone movies. What pictures do you have of Oliver Stone?
I guess in my mind, the picture I have of Oliver is as being a creative visionary who when he tells his story and you can fit into his creative vision, it's nirvana.
When you were filming Wall Street, did you have any idea that would be the iconic movie of the 80s?
No, of course not. No way. I thought it was a really good script, and I was only on that film for 3 weeks. You know, that trading floor interior that Charlie and I work in. I was down there for 3 weeks, and so you do that for 3 weeks, and then you move on to the next one. And then the film came out, and I thought it was just really spectacular.
It also stands the test of time. I saw that recently, and it really holds up very well all these years later.
It sure is a love letter to New York in the 80s, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I also was very upset. I was in New York last summer, and I could not get tickets to go see Glenn Ross.
I wish you had come. That was the most exciting thing I've ever done.
I was so upset. I had to walk across the street, and I watched Chaplin, which was fantastic. But
oh, good.
Yeah, that was really good.
I wish you had come to the play. I wish you could have gotten in.
It was well, you and Al Pacino with Glengarry Glen Ross. The run's over with now, right?
Yeah, it was a limited run. We went till what we agreed to, January 22nd, and then everybody went on to do their thing. But it was spectacular being with Al. I had done Any Given Sunday with him, and he's just kind of a hero of mine. And so to be able to do a play with him 8 times a week was kind of a dream come true.
That's very different than movie acting, where you learn your lines, you say it, and you move on. Is it true when you do a Broadway play like that it's different every single night, even though it's the same script?
Absolutely. There are some houses, there are some audiences that came to see Al, and they're thinking that maybe Glengarry Glen Ross was the Al Pacino Variety Hour, and it's not. It's a really brutal ensemble piece about hopelessness and desperation, and to win that group over and take them on this journey, that's one night. The next night, maybe they're here to see the play. They know the play, and that's a different group. And so, what the emotional luggage that people bring into the theater, you can feel it up on the stage, and you run with it.
John C. McGinley plays Red Barber in the movie 42, #1 movie in America. John, when are we going to see you next? What are you working on now?
I'm going to start a TV show tomorrow with Bill Lawrence, the guy who created Scrubs, and it's a pilot, and so we'll shoot it, and then we'll see if it gets picked up. And so that's, Scrubs is a pilot. Every show you've ever seen started out as a pilot. And so you shoot the pilot, and then you cross your fingers and see if you get invited to the dance. Before
we let you go, we should at least mention that you are very big in the Down syndrome community, are you not?
Yeah, there's the Special Olympics, which is one of the great groups on the planet, has a campaign called Spread the Word to End the Word. And it started, it was born out of the World Winter Games in Boise about 4 years ago. And the athletes themselves came up with this campaign to encourage people to stop using the word retard and retarded as it perpetuates this negative stigma about our special needs community. And so, shy of telling people how to talk, which I have no interest in doing, we just advocate and maybe suggest that you could sprinkle some compassion into your language when it comes to using the word retard and retarded, as it targets a community that didn't do anything to you and can't defend itself. And so maybe there's a better way to say what you're trying to express than employing those words, the retarded and retard, which we refer to as the R word.
It's a great message. John C. McGinley, who is in 42, go out and see it. Baseball fans everywhere. He plays Red Barber. John, thank you very much for stopping by. Thank you for your craft and your work, and we'll look forward to seeing you and supporting you in the future.
Thanks, McGraw. I look forward to talking to you next time.
You got it. John C. McGinley plays Red Barber in the movie 42 in movie houses now. Back in a moment on the Big 550 KTRS.